Let's welcome former State Department official Christian Whiton. Hey, Christian, it's great to have you back on. Okay, did the Trump-Russia debacle at the FBI, with the FBI probe into that, did that affect relations with Russia?
It certainly did, for the worse, in the sense that Donald Trump was elected. He was very clear that he wanted to have at least an open discussion, good relations if possible with Russia. And that wasn't just idealism, that was pragmatism. We have a very serious competition with China. When President Trump took office, we had a very serious problem with ISIS. Those are things where ideally we could get some Russian cooperation, or at least where we could get Russia not to go out of its way to cause problems for the United States. But because of the witch hunt in the United States, because of this, frankly, fiction that there was a Russian hiding in every bush and influencing our election, and that Russians got Donald Trump elected, it really curbed his ability to work his form of personal diplomacy that I think did bear fruit in other areas like North Korea.
Well, the Brookings Institution, we're showing it right now, has put out information about how Trump really was tough on Russia, despite what the media was saying, that he was a puppet for Russia, that he was a Russian asset. When you look in the detail of what the Trump administration did on Russia, it's pretty extensive, Christian. But there was way more attention paid to Trump's fictitious, conspiracy with Russia to hack Democrat emails and the sealed dossier, the Moscow hotel room, than what Trump was actually doing going after Russia.
Yeah, it really speaks to the dishonesty of the foreign policy establishment and much of the media. If you'll recall from the Obama-Biden administration, you had Obama just before his own reelection whispering to Medvedev, who was then the Russian prime minister, but essentially Putin still ran the country, saying, Obama saying, don't worry, I'll have much more flexibility after the election. And Medvedev saying, dutifully, I will report this to Vladimir. Fast forward to Trump and the sanctions that were put on Russia, which were very tough compared to the Obama administration, which was encouraging U.S. energy companies to go into Russia. The provision of lethal arms to Ukraine, which is what Trump did, versus Obama-Biden, which sent only humanitarian aid to Ukraine, which wasn't what they needed when they were fighting, little green men from Russia. So across the board, much tougher on Russia. Trump also pulled out of the START Treaty and the Open Skies Treaty, which a lot of us thought benefited Russia more than the United States. And yet to this day, this fiction still exists in the fever swamps of the left that Donald Trump is somehow an agent of Russia. He's a pretty lousy agent if he was.
Hey, Christian, what are the geopolitical implications of Democrats repeatedly saying Trump was a Russian puppet?
It's very bad. I think some countries and governments are able to see past the bluster. Certainly in East Asia, you saw our allies like Japan and Australia and Taiwan still giving Trump the respect that we would expect any U.S. president to receive from our allies. But I think in Europe and places like that, certainly in Canada with its left-wing government, elsewhere, it hurt our president's power and our country's power. And it's sad that this was being sort of propagated by the very bureaucracy that's supposed to be helping a president do his job.
All right, Christian Whiton, it's great to have you back on. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining us.